In Singapore, the lights went out, and so did Ferrari's patience. 5 races without a podium, another weekend of broken promises and braking problems. And then, Charles Leclerc said what no Ferrari driver dares to say in public. "We are passengers to the car," he told the media. The engineers froze. The words hit harder than any crash, because in Maranello, public criticism isn't feedback. It's mutiny. Behind the garage doors, anger spread fast. Some engineers called it betrayal, others called it honesty. But either way, the mask slipped. Leclerc wasn't just frustrated, he was lost. And while the headlines screamed about his meltdown, another radio told a different story. Hamilton's, calm, surgical, controlled. As Leclerc's voice shook with despair, Hamilton stayed steady, even when his own car faltered. No blame, no drama, just analysis. And that's when it became clear, Ferrari doesn't have one leader anymore, it has a fracture. And inside that fracture, a new hierarchy is forming. The cameras caught the moment, but not the silence that followed. Leclerc's face after the race said everything. The frustration, the disbelief, the exhaustion of carrying a car that refuses to listen. He didn't hold back. Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren, they've all moved forward. We're passengers. In one sentence, Leclerc didn't just criticize the SF25, he questioned the competence of those who built it. Inside Ferrari, the reaction was instant. According to Corriere dello Sport, engineers felt insulted. Some called it unacceptable. Others said Leclerc had crossed a line that even Vettel never dared. In a team where image is sacred, Leclerc had committed the ultimate sin. He made the cracks visible. And yet, that anger wasn't really about his words. It was about what they revealed. Fear. Because deep down, the engineers knew he wasn't entirely wrong. Ferrari's pace is slipping, the hierarchy is confused, and the car does feel like it's driving itself. Without direction, without unity. The meltdown wasn't just emotional, it was structural, and in Maranello, structure is everything. While Leclerc's words spread through headlines like wildfire, Hamilton's voice came through the radio, measured, distant, almost unnervingly calm. No frustration, no accusations, just clarity. He reported his braking issues with precision, adjusted his tone mid-sentence, and thanked the team for the fix, even as his car dragged him back into Alonso's reach. "Copy that, we'll manage," he said. 2 words, but they carried more weight than Leclerc's entire press conference, because Hamilton wasn't reacting to the problem, he was containing it. He knew the garage was tense, he knew the engineers were already under siege, and by choosing calm over chaos, he sent the loudest message possible. Leadership doesn't shout, it stabilizes. Ferrari's radio used to echo with excuses, doubts, and apologies. That night, Hamilton turned it into something else, a weapon of control. While Leclerc's voice cracked under pressure, Hamilton's became the steady heartbeat Ferrari had forgotten it needed. It wasn't just a radio call, it was a power move. In Maranello, words have consequences. Leclerc's post-race honesty may have played well with fans, but inside the factory, it sounded like rebellion. Departments began pointing fingers. Engineers blamed strategy. Strategy blamed communication. And management? It blamed the drivers for damaging unity. Suddenly, Ferrari wasn't talking about lap times anymore. It was talking about loyalty. Fred Vasseur tried to cool the fire. He called the situation mega frustrating, trying to sound diplomatic. But those close to the team know that his statement wasn't damage control, it was a warning. Because in Ferrari, the moment you question the institution questions you. Leclerc may still be their golden child in public, but privately, doubts are creeping in. His leadership is being reassessed. His emotional volatility, once seen as passion, is now seen as a risk. Meanwhile, Hamilton's stock inside the team quietly rose, not because of pace, but because of composure. While one driver lost control of the narrative, the other seized it, without saying a word. The political shift had begun. And for the first time, Ferrari's civil war wasn't between departments, it was between its drivers. Fred Vasseur knew this day would come. The moment he signed Hamilton, he invited a revolution into Maranello, and revolutions don't ask for permission. On one side, Leclerc, the loyal prince of Ferrari, emotional, impulsive, adored by tifosi, and protected by those who built the old system. On the other, Hamilton, calm, unbothered, and increasingly influential. A driver who doesn't need politics to lead because his presence is politics. Vasseur stands between them, holding a fragile peace. He tells the media the team is united. He talks about processes and development windows. But behind closed doors, the pressure is suffocating. Every decision he makes now is interpreted as choosing a side. When Leclerc lashes out, it reflects on Vasseur's leadership. When Hamilton stays composed, it highlights what Ferrari lacks: clarity, control, conviction. The question inside Maranello isn't whether the SF25 can fight again, it's whether Vasseur has the authority to contain two opposing empires, one born from legacy, the other from transformation. And deep down, even he knows, if Hamilton wins this internal war, Ferrari's future will no longer belong to its past. It's a story Ferrari has lived before and never learned from. Vettel's frustration in 2020, Alonso's exhaustion in 2014. The same pattern, written in red, repeating itself like a curse. A driver speaks out, the engineers close ranks, management preaches calm while chaos brews beneath the surface. Leclerc's meltdown is just the latest echo in Ferrari's endless cycle of denial. Every era starts with promises of change, a new culture, a unified vision, and ends with blame traded across departments like currency. The names change, but the ghosts stay. The difference now is Hamilton. He's seen these patterns before, at McLaren, at Mercedes, in boardrooms where politics mattered more than pace. And unlike those before him, he isn't fighting for validation, he's fighting for transformation. Ferrari built walls to protect its legacy. Hamilton is building doors to reshape its future. And while the team debates who's right, history is quietly repeating itself until someone finally decides to break it. Some revolutions start with noise. This one started with silence. While Leclerc's words dominated headlines, Hamilton's calm began to reshape the mood inside the garage. Mechanics started quoting his feedback. Engineers began aligning with his phrasing. We manage, we adapt, we build forward. In a team drowning in emotion, his tone became the anchor. The shift wasn't ordered, it happened. A quiet gravitational pull around a driver who didn't need to demand respect. He generated it. Each debrief, each late-night simulator session, each measured comment to the press, all built a new rhythm at Ferrari, colder, calmer, clearer. And that rhythm is dangerous, not to Hamilton, but to those who thrived on chaos, because control is addictive. Once a team tastes stability, it stops following noise. Ferrari's identity is changing from the inside. Not by decree, not by speech, but by example. And the man leading it isn't shouting from the pit wall. He's sitting in the cockpit, listening, waiting, reshaping an empire lap by lap. Ferrari's storm isn't coming, it's already here. But this time, it doesn't sound like thunder, it sounds like discipline. Leclerc's words exposed Ferrari's weakness. Hamilton's silence revealed its only way out. One broke the illusion of control, the other quietly built it. The next races won't just test upgrades or strategies, they'll test loyalty, patience, and the balance of power inside Maranello. Because Ferrari can't serve two masters forever, soon it will have to choose emotion or evolution. Briatore said everything will change next year. Maybe he was wrong, maybe it's already changing, right now in the silence between Hamilton's radio calls. So tell us, do you believe Ferrari is ready to follow Hamilton's leadership, or will they cling to the chaos that's kept them trapped for years? If you stand with the calm before the revolution, comment below, #StandWithLewis. And subscribe, because the next race won't just rewrite Ferrari's story, it might redefine Formula One itself.